Hello and welcome to this video on temporary dimensions. To me, temporary dimensions is one of those things on your checklist whenever you begin your project that you have to tick off, as early as possible before you get right into the project, because it can actually make or, mar the way you would define spaces within your project. So before we get right into the video, kindly like and subscribe to Design Campus on YouTube, and also click on the bell notification button to get notifications whenever I make any new posts. And also follow Design Campus on Instagram for tips like this. Now, temporary dimensions are those dimensions that appear whenever you select any object. Most times within Revit, they're temporary because when it's unselected, they no longer are there as compared to these other dimensions, which are sort of permanent. So these temporary dimensions, for example, if you want to have an offset within this wall, let's say this wall was in here and you would like to offset another wall maybe by 3 meters this way. By the time you use your offset, or you type OF for shortcut, and then you say 3 meters, that's 3000 mm, 3 meters, you would see that it's saying 3 meters, but the 3 meters that this is actually it's actually stating is 3 meters from the center of this wall to the center of this other wall. So in adjusting temporary dimensions, you can actually make it so that this 3 meters is actually in to in. Like for example, if we were to click on this and click on this, it would sort of switch between all the faces of the walls until it gets to whatever one that you would prefer. So for example, if I wanted it to be from out here to in, this is what I'll do. And if I wanted it to be in to in, this is what it will be. And then we'll now realize that this is not 3 meters as we initially desired. So, and this is not a permanent fix, because the next time you do something like that, like offset another one, you would still have the same issue because it will still return to the center and then center. So to actually change this permanently, so if you're working within the project, you won't have to be dealing with switching this from faces to wall faces to wall face. What you would do is come over here to manage, and then temporary add settings, and then scroll down to annotations. And if it's an earlier version of Revit, you will see temporary dimensions already listed here. But for now, scroll down to if it's 2023, scroll down to annotations and then click on temporary dimensions within here. So at this point, it's a different dialog box would open, and then you see some other options. So when dealing with the walls, you can specify where the temporary dimensions would take its reference from. In this case, those are on center lines. That's why we had them, having some kind of center to center reference. If we go with center of core, it's going to use the core of the wall material, the wall composition. It's going to use the center of the wall as its reference. And if we go with faces, it's going to use the external part of the wall as its face. And if we go with faces of core, it's going to use the external part of the wall core, external face of the wall core for its reference. So in this case, since we want an in to in, I'm just going to go with faces. And then for the doors and windows references, that's if you have fenestrations on the doors, you're going to either choose to go with center lines as references or go with the openings as references. I would prefer openings as references most of the time. So once you click on this, you would have resolved that problem. And let's offset this again, and then let's say we're offsetting this by 3 meters for now. By the time you come to check on the references, this is where it has moved to. So at the time you come to check on the references, and you decide to move this, by 3 meters, you wouldn't have to struggle with moving either of this. It has already relocated it. Let me do this with another wall so it's kind of clearer. Let's try and offset this wall. So offset this, and by the time you click on this wall to offset, to move it properly, if you've created this wall, you would now find out that this is already referencing inner part of this to the inner part of this wall. So you can easily type 3 meters or 3.6 meters, that's 3600 mm, and you'll be safe. And this is kind of a permanent fix on this particular project for those kind of situations. And then when it comes to the cores of the building, if you note the detail level of your building, once it's on a fine detail level, you'll be able to see some of these materials in a cross section. So if you were to turn off the line thickness and zoom in, you'd be able to tell. So this part of the wall composition is actually the core. So this is the face of the core, and then this is the face of the core on the other side, and then this is the wall entirely. So this is taking us back to those references of within the temporary dimensions, where it was asking what part of the wall would it take for its reference. So it's as easy as knowing, if you want a centered reference, center to center, it would be in the middle of this wall. If you want a faces of the core, it would be around here, and if you want faces, it's going to be at the other end of the wall. So I hope this video has helped to clarify some of this difficulty that a lot of times people make, and you find out they would go so far within a project and without realizing the interiors of their the dimensions and of the walls that they've been creating, without kind of noting it. I hope this has been able to clarify or at least fix that. We've come to the end of this video. Kindly like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also click on the notification bell to get notifications whenever I make any new posts, and also follow Design Campus on Instagram for more updates and tips like this. Bye for now.